Oh boy. All right, I'm back now. So, oh boy, where was I at? Yeah, that is true. It would have this. I would have started this back up early, but for some reason or another, when I created another stream, quick pump, it set the live stream to be private. What in the world? Why would I? It makes no sense. Why would I go and want a live stream to be private for? That doesn't make any sense. But in any event, let's continue. So this here is our friend High Tech Pharmaceuticals, the leader in weight loss energy. You see, what happened is the same thing that happened to ALR Industries that's happened to just about every other company. So basically, let me pull this up here. Give me just a minute. Where is it? Okay. So, High Tech Pharmaceuticals, what they do is they buy all the names. So, all of your favorite names that you remember: USP Labs, Top Secret Nutrition, Prime Nutrition, LG Sciences, Innovative Labs, iForce, Formatech, EAS. That's right, folks. EAS is now owned by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. ALRI Nutrition. Well, this is retail price there, Scatman. And basically all of these brand names, they sell similar products. But because people remember the name ALR Industries, they remember EAS obviously, they remember Prime, And especially USP Labs, people are still going to buy it regardless as far as to, what they're selling nowadays. The ALR products are not the same as when in my time, because all they carry now is just the Humipro, the chain. There's no jungle warfare. The hyperdrive is not the same as the hyperdrive I took for the show. So there is a big difference. And in this mix is Blackstone Labs, actually. You know, right in that mix. So with High Tech Pharma owning Blackstone Labs, they have no reason to run a booth or anything. Blackstone is pretty much over with, Scatman. There's not really a functioning Blackstone Labs, because Blackstone's now owned by High Tech Pharma. They almost High Tech Pharma they almost ended up buying out Redcon One. At least they tried to, while Aaron was in prison or so. But that didn't happen. Aaron came back and sorry. But yeah, you also have to understand it costs a lot of money to get a booth at the Olympia. Right around $50,000. Let me see. Cost of a Olympia booth. It should be at least $50,000. Yeah, you can get just a 10 by 10 exhibit space is $3,600. 10% premium for a position fee. Now, folks, 10 by 10, that's 10 feet by 10 feet. That's literally a desk. So for $3,600, you can put a fucking desk out at the Mr. Olympia. And if you can imagine how big these booths are, they're going to be spending at least $50,000, and then the actual booth itself, they can, we're talking a lot of money just to open up a booth. Now, realistically, for $3,600, they just could have set up a table and everything like that. But again, why waste that time for, Bro, Tina didn't have anything to do with Genova. It's just the nature of business. Do you remember Beast? That wasn't a pro hormone with the. Yeah, I remember that stuff. They went out of business. They're one of those Flash companies where they came into Flash. They ran into a lot of copyright issues with Marvel Comics for their labeling. That didn't really help too much, neither. PJ probably doesn't have any of his posing trunks anymore. He's probably thrown them out. Did I ever straighten my hair? I waved it, but back in the day when I had hair. But that I did. I mean, folks, when I was in my 20s, I didn't do anything really too different than anyone else as far as hairstyle is concerned. Which now I don't have to worry about hairstyle because I have no freaking hair, But that folks is where the line is really. People ask why don't I set up a booth or so forth. Look how expensive it is. $3,600 and I could put a table out there, literally. $3,600. I mean, Lou Ferrigno can do that and he'll sign those $20 autographs, but how many autographs? He would have to sign a lot in order to break even. Do I have taco meat? No, because I'm not eating tacos. Unless you're probably talking about something pretty disgusting, so get your mind out of the gutter. Just being all ripe or so forth. Yeah, we'll do this later. All right, folks, we got about 25 minutes left. I'm going to run it up until 2:05 because of the issues we had, obviously. So get your questions and comments in if you wish. I do not know who a John Skywalker is. I mean, I know who a Luke Skywalker is. I know both of them from Two Live Crew and then the one from Star Wars. Why in the world is he? There's a lot of rap artists these days that are using the name Skywalker. I mean, who does he think he is? He's definitely in good shape, but he vapes, so big no. Don't like vaping. I've never had a Jerry curl quick pump. You know, Jerry curls were more prominent back in the 70s. That's way before my time. You either had in the 70s, you had either a Jerry curl or an afro. Mike Chan, the YouTuber. You mean a longevity coach or something, or? Nope. I don't have a celebrity crush there, Scatman. We've already went over that before. I'm not big into celebrities. Celebrities nowadays, for the most part, are a bunch of woke bastards. You know, they'll go and claim to be environmentally friendly, yet fly around on these big giant private jets, drive around these giant SUVs, but goes and has the nerve to tell everybody else, you know, you need to contribute more to the environment, you know, or so forth. A bunch of bullshit, you know. Celebrities are so full of it, Scatman. I mean, literally, they go and preach about being environmentally free, you know, and everything, and they're the ones that are polluting the most, you know. We cause very little pollution because we ain't got money to drive anywhere or do anything, you know. Raul, there's about 100 different people that have done 6-pack shortcuts, you know. 6-pack shortcuts are so genetic, you know. You know, they've been in practically every single last magazine. There's about 50 different books that are called 6-pack shortcuts from 50 different authors. Of course it did, KCB. That's why I don't like celebrities. I mean, they're so full of shit, you know, these days, to where they go and preach about what we should be doing, yet they go and flash their wealth. They fly on private jets. We're not polluting the environment. We don't fly on private jets. If we get on any airplane whatsoever, it's gonna be in the economy class with a bunch of other people. I mean, they say support Ukraine. Go and I mean, you have the Rock up there wanting to raise money for Hawaii. How much money does the Rock has? He has almost $1 billion, and yet he goes and tells other people that you really need to donate, and then he scolds people for not donating. And he's worth close to $1 billion. That's what I'm talking about, folks. And here we are as Americans, we are struggling literally with crushing taxes, crushing inflation. We're trying to stay alive on our own, and we got to have some $1 billion woke celebrity up there telling us, well, we need to go donate. Why don't you donate some money, motherfucker? You know what I mean? You go donate some money, Rock. You go donate some money, Al Gore. You go donate some money, Kim Kardashian. Greta, whatever that little girl's name. You people go and donate some money. You know, I got to go to work on Monday. Damn it, you know. I mean, I hate the rant like this, but I mean, seriously, you know. You're telling everyone else there that, you know, there's got to be a little, you got to start giving a little skin on the back. What happens if your back ain't even got no skin, you know? I mean, they're literally asking for more skin in the game when people don't even have any skin at this point in time. They're walking around with their skeleton showing with all the inflation that's happening. You about to smoke, Lamar? Okay. I'm not going to smoke. I'm not going to watch the game neither because I already saw the Panthers on Thursday. So there's not really any game that I'm interested in. I mean, the Panthers are out of the playoffs, so there's no need for me to really watch too much football or keep up with it. It's not just a rant pump, quick pump. It's just the reality of things, you know. To where, you know, these celebrities are just out of touch with everyone, you know. How can we have more skin in the game when we ain't got no skin? Now we're being told we were donating to Ukraine. Now we're donating to Israel. Now we're donating to other countries. I'm not saying that those are bad causes or anything like that, but we need to go and take care of stuff around here in the U.S., you know. We got our own problems here, you know, much less to be fooling with anybody else, you know. Literally speaking, you know. Folks, all of this is going to blow up one day. I mean, seriously, people are going to eventually get tired of their tax dollars going to places where it shouldn't be, you know. I mean, whose idea was it for us to donate to Ukraine or any of these other countries? You know, it doesn't matter whether it's a good cause or not. You know, I'd like to be asked if my money is going to be donated. You know what I mean? This is my tax dollars that I work very hard for, you know? I would like to at least have some sort of say in where my money goes. Some. Can you do that? Can I keep my eyeballs and shit, you know? Hey, Lamar, you sure you hadn't smoked that already? What's wrong with my screen? If you want a bigger screen, then I would recommend screening it on your TV set. I like it just the way it is. Would you rather donate to the Swordfish Club over making peace between countries? Well, Scatman, yes, I'd rather donate to the Swordfish Club. Because here's the reason there, Scatman. Ukraine and Russia's business has nothing to do with us, you know. Ukraine doesn't like black people anyway. They don't like gays, you know. I mean, Palestine, they're complaining about God. They throw gay people off the freaking buildings.
No say allowed.
No say allowed. 53 donated $50. Definitely appreciate the donation. You'll have to be more specific on the no say allowed. Oh, you mean about any say on where our money spends? Yeah, that is one thing. And the whole thing, the biggest thing that really irritates me is that any harsh comment. I mean, it doesn't even have to be such a harsh comment there, Pug. If you go, anyone that goes and says, you know, I feel really bad for those people in Palestine that are getting blown up, those innocent civilians, all of a sudden they're getting marked as being anti-Semitic, and then they get doxxed, they get fired from their jobs and stuff like that, all because, you know, they don't want civilians getting killed in Palestine, you know. I say they should finish a job, but, you know, you just can't do it. You notice that? Any little give whatsoever towards citizens, anything, any little give towards Palestine, you are deemed as anti-Semitic. You get doxxed, you get fired, you get thrown out, your family's threatened, your car's blown up and everything. You're done. You know what I mean? You're done. Yeah, our skin's almost looking like Frank. Yeah, Lamar, you gotta really yeah, you gotta cut down on the smokes there, you know. Cause I mean, what you was just smoking just hours ago, last night. That stuff's gonna catch up with you eventually, Lamar. And people wonder why they want Trump in office. People, I mean, it's because of stuff like this, you know. Apparently, politicians have not simply learned their lessons. We're tired of. They think they're always in the right, and they're not. They're spending up all their money, you know. I mean, whether something's a good or bad cause, at the very least, we need to have a say as far as to where our money goes. You know, wouldn't you agree with me? If I'm alone, it's like you can't loan any money. They just go and take it out, saying we're going to take $50 out of your paycheck and we're going to give it to these people over here. You know, you don't have the money. That's okay. We'll just tax you for it and add interest to it if you don't pay it. I mean, Lamar, the thing about vapes is there's not really much information as far as to long-term effects because, you know, vaping's been around probably less than maybe a decade or so. As opposed to, you know, we know where smoking is going to go because people have smoked for centuries and stuff. But with vaping, since it's still relatively new, there's no idea as far as long-term effects. We don't need no wall, KCB. Here's the thing: if you really wanted to keep the Mexicans out, we could have done that a long time ago, and we could have done it for under $2 million. I mean, we have a ton of Army surplus barbed wire. We have a ton of surplus mines that we can use. We cover the entire border with Constantine wire with a truck, which would only take about a week. You put mines next to it, nobody ain't crossing over that motherfucker, you know? And the problem is solved. You don't need to build a wall. I mean, you can build it the same way we uh, see. I was up there ranting so much, but what I was saying is, we can do it for under $2 million. Not even really that, because all of this could be set up by the military. And if one of them gets tripped, we put another one up. But the fact that we put signs up and says, "Hey, warning, landmines," we put it in Spanish, we put it in every other language. Nobody ain't gonna cross that barbed wire without getting blown the fuck up, literally. Yeah, I accidentally hit my wire and I unplugged my microphone by mistake. Underground tunnels, well, as far as underground tunnels are concerned, all you got to do is find the hole to where it's coming out to and throw some dynamite under there. I mean, if someone is going to go underground, maybe we should let them in. But the vast majority of people, they come above ground. So, but it's pretty easy to find where someone is digging a tunnel. Because all you need to do is close it up or throw some dynamite under there, and cave them in and stuff. And then that's pretty much the end of that whole tunnel situation. It's a lot harder to dig a tunnel than it is to cross a border. I've been offered that job before, that guy, but no, I wouldn't want to work at the border. It pays good money, but I would be stuck in an area to where I wouldn't be able to spend the money. I mean, the area is close to Nogales. I mean, there's literally nothing there, nothing. Well, this live is about to go off in 5 minutes there, Ryan. So, you know, and I'm gonna go about the rest of my day. Hey, Lionheart, what's up? Oh, I almost forgot. We got to do the soul poll. We'll get a little music going. Let's see here. I think this will work. A little too loud. I mean, they got trailer parks. That's about. I mean, what good is to go work somewhere to where you got to live in an area where there's absolutely nothing, or you got to drive like an hour to get to some sort of city? It makes no sense. But any event there, we can definitely keep the borders open. I mean, keep the borders closed. And we don't have to spend a dime for it. We got surplus Constantine wire. We have surplus landmines. We have vehicles that can put the stuff up in minutes. Literally. In a week or so, we can have the borders closed. Do you want to know why Nancy Pelosi doesn't really want those borders closed? Because all those Mexicans go down there to California and they go and pick oranges and stuff, as well as these other border states. Look at, you cut that off, you know, you're cutting off their source of income as far as California. Literally speaking, California, they want the Mexicans there, but they want them as slaves, you know. It's sort of like someone had asked me one time about slavery and how Harriet Tubman went with the Underground Railroad. Here's the thing, folks. What do you think's gonna happen to? What do you think happens to a slave to where they're taken from the South, they're brought up north? Are they really free? What kind of work are they gonna do? What ended up happening, according to the history books, is that they were basically maids and servants at these other rich people's houses. So they went from being a servant and slave in one place to being a servant in another place, you know. But hey, look on the bright side, they can pay their own bills or so. And of course, Harriet Tubman got paid for every head that she brought in. And that's all in the history books. People can argue about that all they want, but it's in the history books. It's in the history logs. Nothing that I've made up, you know. But you know what? It makes all perfect sense there, you know. Think about it. I mean, there's about 1 million slaves in the South at around that time. And one person's up there bringing up like 10, 12 slaves at a time. Do you think that's going to knock a dent into slavery whatsoever? No. So why bring them up there for? Ding, 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 ding. That's one thing about history. Our history books are very perverted these days. As far as what's being taught in schools, as far in comparison to the reality of things. It's gotten a lot worse in Florida. Now, some of those books, they need to get the hell out, you know. They're just disgusting. You know, definitely got to get those nasty books out. You guys know what I'm talking about. But some other historical manuals and stuff in regards to slavery and stuff, those gotta stay. Yeah, we don't need no books where people jerking off and stuff, or scissoring or anything like that. That type of book has no place in any type of library, in any public school library. I mean, what kids need to be taught is the same thing that I was taught when I was growing up, and that's sex education. Teach them about, you know, sticking your cock in the poo-poo, pussy, and making a bebe, and making sure you use a condom. And that's it. That's all, baby. That's Sports Center. That's all that should be taught. You know, that's Sports Center. Nothing else. No scissoring. None of this other stuff. I picked up one of those books. I checked out one of them books. A damn shame. I saw why people was getting all upset. What can you do, folks? I don't know, donate some money to somewhere, or perhaps we can all be more environmentally friendly. But you know what? I'm going to be environmentally friendly in about 15 minutes when I drive my big giant gas guzzling Cadillac downtown. But folks, that is the end of the Hangover. Definitely want to thank Pugman. You always take good care of me. I want to thank everyone for hanging out and chilling with the great one. You guys, y'all have a good Sunday. Don't do too much work, folks, because it is Sunday. It is the Lord's Day. It is a day of rest. All right? And as always, peace and soul. Oh, sorry. I meant 53 actually donated. So 53, thanks again for your donation there. But no, that was actually 53. So again, folks, do want to thank y'all for hanging out with me. And as always, peace and soul. Looks like we got that one right this time.